Well, hey there. It is Tuesday, and people next door are like opening this thing on their house. it's kind of like a garage door kind of a thing. Anyway, so I hope you're having a good day today. I've been at it once again today, trying to figure out something about shade for my plants. And my landlady actually came over here earlier. I looked out the window and she's standing there looking at the fountain. So I came out here and was talking to her about it. And we were figuring out, how much of things we need, like how many meters and all that, because they go by meters here. So figuring out how many meters of material and all that kind of stuff to get. She said she was going to ask around or ask somebody about maybe getting the supplies for me. I don't know, because I told her, I said, I can build it. It's like not going to be a big deal, because we both agreed that more than likely the best way to do this is just to use PVC pipe, because I mean all it is for is just to shade the plants. It's not like some fancy structure that I'm building over here. That's I'm not building an addition to the house. So I think PVC pipe is just going to be the easiest, cheapest way to go. But anyway, I went out to go get ice earlier, and I'm just like, and I see the green light. I'm like, the light just changed green right when I was getting close to the ice place. So I just kept going, and I made a little right turn, and I went down the street to this little hardware store. I mean, it's a small little hardware store, but they sell PVC piping and the material and all that stuff that, everything I would need basically to build this thing. So I went over there and I started asking and looking at the PVC pipe and getting some estimates and all this kind of stuff. And then I was asking about the material, because I mean, that's something I can carry on my bike, because that material, you can roll it up and it'll fit in the bike basket. So, and then they started talking to different people, and it was like all these people were crowded around and all talking in Thai, trying to like figure out the measurements and all this kind of stuff. Because I told them, how many meters I need, for the frame. I said it's going to be, because my landlady and I worked it out. So she said 4 by 4. So it's going to be 4 meters this way and then 4 meters that way, and then 2 meters tall. So I even drew a little diagram, and wrote the numbers on there and all this stuff. But then they were trying to figure out the material. And this went on and on and on. I don't even know. And I mean, all these people were getting involved trying to figure out how many meters of material. And I kept trying to tell them, I only want it for the top. I don't need it to be like completely enclosed. I'm not trying to like make like a little room, surrounded with this fabric material stuff, whatever you want to call it. I was like, I just need it on the top. So basically, just a little bit more, maybe, I don't even know, not that much more than the actual frame itself, just a little bit, to hang down to connect it to the, frame and all that kind of stuff. Eventually, I think I finally got through to them, and I was like, explaining, and I wrote it down again, and I was like, I just need, I said, Hokmet, for the stuff, because it's already, you can get it really, really long. It comes in these long rolls, and they cut it however many meters that you want, but it's only so wide. So the ones they have are 2 meters wide. So we figured that, okay, I'm going to need 2 of those side by side, because if it's a 4-meter thing and they're only 2 meters wide, I'm going to need 2 of them to cover the top, but I wanted to have a little extra. So I said, Hulk meters, to go this way, times 2. Anyway, I'm not good in math, and figures and all this kind of junk, but I figured that out. So anyway, finally we determined how much of that, and I had enough on me to get it because this stuff's really, it's cheap. You know, this is what I'm saying. It's like all this stuff that I do is cheap stuff. That's why I'm able to do all the things that I do end up doing, and because I can, you know, I can do a lot more for a lot less here in Thailand. So in America, I don't even know. I would never have been able to do all this, I'm sure. But anyway, so I get this, I got the material stuff. So I'm going to show that to you now. So I'm going to turn this around. Okay, as you can see, at the moment I have just a little makeshift thing, which I can take down now because the sun has gone down enough. But I just left it on there so I could show you because I needed to cover these plants. And earlier today, I moved the plants, not the palm ones. I left those where they were, but all of these other ones, including this one, I moved today. I kept moving them around to avoid the direct sunlight. And at one point, I even moved my table and the chairs and everything. I moved all that out and had two of my plants underneath the umbrella. I mean, you know, I was just like, and that's why I thought, okay, I don't have forever to wait for somebody to do anything for me. So I'm going to just go see what I can get an estimate. And I actually got an estimate for some really kind of big round PVC pipe. But I just think it's going to be too big. I mean, I was thinking I should probably get something, you know, kind of big, but not, I think what I was looking at was too much. But I got an estimate for all of that. So anyway, this is one of the sheets of the materials stuff, you know. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's the sun. You see, you know, light will still come through for the plants, but it's going to minimize it. You know, it's going to take that harshness off of them so that they're not getting their leaves burned. Because apparently that's, from what I read about these plants, you know, they need bright indirect sunlight. Otherwise, you know, too much direct sunlight can burn the leaves. And, you know, and so I don't know. And this, I mean, they're just looking kind of wilty and kind of bleh. I mean, there's some areas that are still really nice, like this at the top. But for how long? You know, it's like, how long is that going to look nice? Because it started at the bottom, you know, looking really yucky. And I think it's kind of working its way up. So that's why I need to do something fast. And I don't have time to wait for people. So I just went on my own and I've got my second roll here because, like I said, you know, I need two since these are only 2 meters wide. And we measured it out because the structure's gonna start like right there, you know, like right at the edge of that area right there. And I'll be able to get in because it's only, you know, it's not going to be out here in the way. But anyway, the structure's going to go up there, and it's going to go to the top of that umbrella. And it's not going to cover the umbrella, it's going to be beside it. And then, you know, when you come over this way, it's going to end up, oh, hi. Hello there. Hi. Isn't that cute? Oh, well, don't go anywhere. I was going to take your picture. Hey. Psst, psst, psst. Anyway, so yeah, and this is actually kind of coming out too far, but this was, you know, a makeshift thing I did here to try to cover these up. And hopefully my plants are okay with it. Sorry, I'm trying to get this off of here. So it's not going to come as far over as this thing. It's going to, you know, be in between. Like, I'll probably end up moving this plant over some. But, you know, it'll be like in between there. Because this plant needs a lot of sun. It's supposed to get full sun. So I don't want to cover it. So I'm going to start it over here. And it's going to come out here, you know. It's going to basically come all the way over to here. Because that's what she measured. She measured out 4 meters from, you know, that wall to this wall. Hopefully that's right. But I did lay this material out, and it's plenty long. Since that's why I got 6 meters. I want to make sure I had enough of this, so anyway, so it'll, be going across like that from here to just over here. Just this section is going to be shaded, but that's where the plants will be, and that'll be nice because, it'll kind of shade it over here a little bit, I think, too, so I'm looking forward to it. I want to get it done, though. I want to get it done quickly because it's like I can't be out here covering my plants every day and moving them around and all of that. That's just going to be way too much, and it's going to probably stress out the plants too. Hang on a second. I'm trying to get this stuff off of here and it's stuck. Oh, God. If this laundry thing, see, this is what I hang my laundry on. If that thing were taller, I could just get a couple of those, I mean, they do make taller ones. I suppose I could try something like that too, but I think it'd just be way too expensive. Well, it would be because the PVC pipes are not that expensive. I mean, this entire thing, even with the large PVC pipes that I was looking at, which I'm definitely thinking smaller is probably better than what I was looking at. All of that piping and the fittings and everything, including the material, she said was only like 700 baht. And I don't know exactly what 700 baht is, but I mean, it's like, 25 bucks or something maybe for all of it, to build this shade for my plants. So, that's why I'm going to do it and that's why everybody here does it. Hang on one second. I don't want to hurt my plants trying to get this thing out of here. Oh, okay. All right. I'll just sit this here for now. So, yeah, I'm going to get it fixed up. And it should be shading this too, because this one I think is doing so well, because look at how much better it looks than, these other ones. I mean, that one's okay, but it's got this area here that's not so good. And this one just looks really sad. But I think this one looks good because of that. See that big old palm tree right there? And it does give it some shade. That's Slim over there hollering. So that one's getting a little more shade, and I think that's why it's doing way better than the other ones are doing. But with this thing here, I think that's going to still shade this one and help shade those. So, I just think it's going to be good. I mean, this is not the green color that I wanted to get because they have different ones. And I mean, this is a really like bright green, and I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to zoom in. See that one over there that they've got? And they've got one, if you can look over that direction there. That's one, that's covering plants. Sorry, it's a little distracting to hear Slim barking his head off. But yeah, that color green is the one I really wanted, but they didn't have that, so I just went with what I could get for right now. And if I need to change it down the road, I can. But, because this stuff, eventually the sun beats on it and, it starts to crumble after a while. But, it's made for this type of stuff. And that's what they make it for, shading. So, but at some point, you have to change it out because it gets kind of crappy in the sun all the time. So, but anyway, I am excited about doing it. If I had the dang parts, I would get it right now, but I don't. So hang on one second. I'm going to turn this around. I'll try to be quick about this since Slim is barking his head off, and he's probably not going to stop. Not unless his people come home, and then he'll maybe stop. So, got my hair up. I've always got my hair up, because here it's like, don't why bother doing your hair? I mean, you're sweating as soon as you get out of the shower. So, um, and your hair just gets wet. You know, it's just too hot. But anyway, yeah, if I could get this, if I had that stuff right now, I would be building that thing right now. Especially now that the sun's gone over there and it's not hot over here like it was earlier. But yeah, I got to get this stuff done. It's like I got to do something, you know. I don't want these plants that I love dearly and that I've been so excited about to die because they're getting sunburned every day, you know. So, but yeah, this bright green stuff's not really it's not the green I wanted, but I think that depending on the colors is the amount of shade. And because if I remember correctly, when I was looking into this before, because at the other place I used to live at, we built a catio, the same kind of situation, only it was bigger, you know, and it was completely enclosed because it was for the cats to go in and out of from the house into the catio so they could have some outdoor space. And it seems to me like when we were looking at the stuff then, depending on the color is depending on the amount of shade. So that one over there, I think, is probably a lot more shade, like it blocks more sun than this one does. And I need one that doesn't block too much sun because these do need bright indirect sun. So I'm thinking that this is probably the best way, and that this is the one that my landlady said I should get. So, and hopefully she knows because you know, she does work in her yard all the time and stuff. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna quit rambling. I don't think there was anything else I was really gonna talk about because I mean, you know, I told you before. Right now, I'm talking about this, but I did get an ASMR video made last night. I did. I didn't think that I was gonna be able to, but it was surprisingly quiet last night, unlike now. I couldn't believe it. It was quiet, like really quiet last night. Unlike anything I've seen in a long time. I mean, it just was like, okay, it's really quiet right now, so I'm going to take advantage of this and do a video. And what I ended up doing was just to hang out, just hanging out, talking, and eating popcorn because I was in the mood for some popcorn. And I thought, well, that's what I'll do. I'll just sit down, have some popcorn and some iced tea, like now. And just talk, you know, just hang out and talk about stuff. And I was talking about this channel and my yard and, you know, just basically the same stuff I talk about on here, but just saying, you know, this is what I've been doing. And, you know, one of the reasons why I've not been making as many videos over there, because I've been focused so much on this stuff and this channel. But and it's so hard, you know, with the noise to make them for that channel. But I was lucky last night. I mean, I still had to pause and edit a bunch of stuff, but it was really nice and quiet. So anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling now because it's loud. I mean, you know, I don't worry about it on this one, but if it's too much, you know, people might just be really annoyed with that. So I'm gonna go and fiddle around out here a little bit more before the sun's totally down because that's what I do. Oh, and I think I forgot to even show you this over here. Hang on one sec. I'm going to turn this around one more time, all right? And then I'm just going to say bye now. And turn this around again, so hang on. Okay. So yeah, yesterday I decided to go out and try to find something to raise this plant up. Because I was saying that, you know, I love the plant, but it was a little short. And I wanted it to be a little bit taller. So I found this little bowl. It's just a plastic bowl. And this pot fits perfectly in the bottom. There's like a little space right here. And this sits right down in it. And so it fit perfectly and it raised it up to pretty much the height that I was hoping that the plant would be. So I think that turned out cool. And then I also, you know, the sun's going down, so this is stopping until it gets dark. I also put these little fake flowers in here just to kind of decorate that a little bit, give it a little flair. And it's, you know, pink and green, just like this is pink and green. And we got pink and green over here. And so, you know, kind of ties it all in, I think. And then we got my pink and green plant over here, which I also set up on that little stool. This thing's been out here forever because usually my landlady uses it to sit on if she was over here in the yard, you know, pulling weeds or something, but she didn't have to do that now, so I'm using it to put the plant on because I was reading some information about that plant too, and apparently it needs full sun, but it needs to have a good drainage, so that water doesn't just sit in the pot. It needs to be able to drain really well. So I thought, well, hey, I'll just stick it up on that thing, and then it's got plenty of drainage room, you know. And it raised it up a little bit, which is nice because I think that looks better up a little higher. So anyway, okay, I said I was going to shut up. So I am. I'm going to get going and go put my bike away. So anyway, thank y'all for being here and for watching. And I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. So have a good one, everybody. And I will see you later.